Okay, we should be going live here. All right. Think I got it set up. I'm on YouTube, so that's good. I should be on my Facebook page, and that's good. I know we're starting just a few seconds early, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'll go ahead and say the disclaimers, the obligatory disclaimers. Um, I have a wicked chronic cough, so if that that kicks up while we're doing this, then just bear with me. I'll try not to cough right into the mic, and we will go from there. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. So just making sure all the streaming is working, and it appears to be. Let's see. Well, why isn't that working? Huh. Anyway, so if you're doing comments, I will try to follow the comments as they come up. The streaming service that I use should collect all that stuff and allow me to see it as it scrolls through, but it's not really working for some reason at the moment. So just if you guys got comments, I'll try to look at those as they happen. But anyway, let's get right into it. So, what is this conversation all about? Well, you guys know our illustrious crazy Uncle Joe has extended this mandate on a federal level. Didn't really announce much new there, except that he's expanding it all the way across the federal workforce, and he's not allowing a test out option, which is different. There seems to be a little bit of confusion still as to whether or not um, that non-test out option is applicable across all federal workforce or if that's just executive service. And for those not familiar with it, there are all these distinctions between different agencies, and it's all technically the executive department, but yeah. So like DOD's had this mandate in effect for a while. Haven't seen policy where I work really implemented on it yet. And there was a test out option. So I don't know if today's announcement really changes that. It appears to, but until they actually issue guidance on this and actually what the policy is going to be, who knows what's really going to come from that. Yeah. So there's that. On the state level, Inslee is just being his wonderful, stupid self. He is my favorite bit, and I'm going to try and share this with you guys. If I can do this right, I'm going to get back into my Zoom meeting here, and I'm going to hold on a second. I'm going to attempt to share my screen and play you guys this clip because some people have asked, did he really say that? And the answer is yes, he really said that. So I hope that well, I know I can share the screen. What I'm hoping is that the audio comes through okay, and if it doesn't, I'll post the link to this later on. But take a gander at this nonsense. Okay, he's being asked by a reporter if testing out is going to be an option. But if it doesn't, take a oops. So I think that's it there. So like I said, I don't know if the audio came through on that. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments. But yeah, the ridiculousness of his commentary there. Can't hear the clip. Okay, sorry. Anyway, if you go to that clip, it's at about let's see what's the timestamp on it. I think 58 no, sorry, 49 4835. 4835. I'll link to it. But he says that the reason we can't offer a test out option is because the tests are too unreliable. They're that you get false positive, false negatives. You could have it, you could not have it. That it's not a reliable way to determine whether or not someone has the COVID flu or not. And that's why we can't use a test out option. That's why we have to do the vaccines. And none of the press follow up with, then how do you know how many cases you have? If the tests are unreliable, how many cases can you say are actual cases? How is that disconnect not be seen by the mainstream media, by so-called journalists? Okay. And every one of you should be out there on the Twitterverse and email and demanding to know why no one asked this question. Why is this not under scrutiny? The whole idea, you're exactly right, Sarah. Is this the whole pandemic not based on the idea that we have cases? Oh my gosh, we have more cases. It's the cases we got to shut down. It's the cases we got to mandate vaccines. Well, if the only way that you have the cases is based upon tests that you say are unreliable, then how are you basing any of this on anything? And the answer is you're not. You're not basing it on anything. You are making this up out of whole cloth. You're using PCR tests at 37 cycles that produce absolutely nothing, that can't differentiate between the cold or the flu, that certainly can't differentiate between normal COVID and Delta variant COVID. In fact, the FDA, the CDC has admitted there is no different test for the Delta variant. There's no way to differentiate. They know it's out there, but there's no way to test for it. So the madness that is continuing along these lines just deepens and is more in our face. And I am losing patience with people who want to hem and haw over it and say, oh, but think about all the people that you're affecting. It's not just about you, it's about everybody. You're being so selfish. Spare me. This has nothing to do with health. This has nothing to do with safety. This is about control and authoritarianism, plain and simple. This is the Great Reset. This is globalism on a scale that would make the tinfoil hat wearing crowd blush. There is a reason that the October 18th deadline was set. It has been known, and I think I shared this with you guys before. It has been known for some time we are going to shut down again. This state is going to shut down again in mid-October, early November. What has been up in the air is what excuse are they going to use? Now, why are they picking that time frame? It's very simple. They had to get students back in the class. They had to have parents breathe a collective sigh of relief of, thank God, at least my kids are in school. At least we have this sense of normalcy. Just, we can deal with anything else. At least they're in school. At least they had to have that so that a month and a half later, they can pull that rug out, get everyone pissed off. And they've already started. Who's at fault? The unvaccinated. All you dirty unvaccinated people, it's your fault. You have anger and frustration. Your kids can't go to school. It's those damn dirty unvaccinated people. Blame them. Go get them. Antifa, go get them. Oh, wait, we don't say that out loud. Antifa, go get them. We don't, right? Because we certainly don't stop Antifa from showing up and shooting peaceful protesters, really peaceful protesters. This is designed. You guys know this, but you follow my page and you know this. Now, I'll share something else with you guys. Kind of shifting, but staying somewhat on the same topic. So I got called into work early today, And this was not unexpected. This was a meeting set up with my security department. We had the same sort of nonsense last year when I was organizing rallies then. People know full well that anonymous tips to the FBI or so on and so forth. And people know where I work. I don't make any secret about that, although I probably should. But people also know that there's ways that you can mess with me, and people try to mess with me. They try to report me to my bosses, to security, to the FBI. And the FBI, this was one of those situations. I got reported by the FBI, or to the FBI, as a threat for some of the comments that I've posted, some of the things that I've done. Now, the nature of the conversation was inquisitive. They're obligated to respond to anonymous tips. All right. And so it was kind of more just a friendly chat. The thing is, guys, I get the very real sense, and the gentleman that I spoke with was very professional, very, very nice, cordial. But I do get the very real sense that like a clampdown is coming. Let's maybe put it that way. So it makes me cautious as to what I say, because it's been made very clear to me that even if I use correct words, proper application, string coherent sentences together, if other people choose to interpret those words differently, then, well, I'm guilty of whatever they say I'm guilty of. That's a very good point, Brad. They were very cordial to General Friend. I don't feel like it was one of those. I really don't. But it does serve. It serves notice, if you will, that next steps, and you all know what that means. Again, if I have to explain to you what that means, then you're not ready to take the next steps. Next steps are becoming increasingly inevitable. And we need all of us to be preparing for those next steps, which leads me into the rally. I'm going to be very candid with you guys. I'm going to be very, very blunt. Okay. I don't need to be doing this. I'd rather actually not have to be doing this. I believe in the cause of freedom 100%, and I want to be on the front lines fighting with you and for you. But if we don't unite, if we do not show some semblance that we can all move in the same direction in some measure, we're done, and we might as well just stop. There are a lot of groups, and I love to see the amount of activism that is being generated and spawned, and people they're pissed and they want to do something, and they're out there, and they're going in all sorts of different directions. And on a certain level, that is great. On another level, that is horrible, because it diffuses us, it wears us out, and we're easily dismissed because, oh, look, they only got 1,000 people at Olympia. Oh, that's nothing. When you got cities like Paris, when you got Canadian cities, when you've got Australia, when you've got people who are further down this tyranny road than we are right now, turning out in the hundreds of thousands, the fact that we can barely muster 1,000 people to show up at a rally that has this much at stake And we get excuses of I'm camping, it's my daughter's birthday, and I'm not calling any individuals out. I'm not going to play that game. But either this stuff matters or it doesn't, guys. Either this is the hill that we die on or it's not, and we're never going to die on a hill. We're going to roll over and let them jab us to death. Are we going to stand together? Are we going to stand up? Because if we're not, if no one is going to follow me, why am I going to stand up and lead? I posted the balance sheet for this last rally. It's on the website. I think I told you guys about this the last live I did. It's there. You can go see it. hazardousliberty.com/events. Go down to the past events. It's on that page at the very bottom. Everyone's there to see it. I sent a copy of that to everyone who made a donation to this last rally. I spent $1,400 out of my own pocket to make sure you all could pee and poop without having to run around. I was glad to do it, but I can't do it again because that was $1,400 that we don't have. This isn't a guilt trip, guys, into having everyone rush to the PayPal account and make donations, although please feel free to do so. But if we're only going to have, 100 and some people with 500 people interested in going, which is what the Facebook event currently says. If we're going to have people say, oh, we planned a camping trip that week and I really can't make it. What are we doing this for? Why am I doing it? I've got a lot of things that I need to focus on with my family. I'm homeschooling our girls and going to work. My wife is going to work. And I may be at a job here in the next couple months with no real alternatives, especially with them going to the private sector the way they are. So there are tons of better things I could be doing with my time than worrying about putting together a rally that no one's going to show up to, or very few people are going to show up to. There is no reason whatsoever that we should not be overflowing at the Capitol. There should be no reason that we are literally pouring out into the streets because there's too many people there. So I'm asking, I'm begging, I'm pleading with you all to help me see it. Help me see your commitment to wanting this thing to happen. Now, I get it. There's a lot of people who are convinced that this is worthless, that no amount of rally, no amount of protesting is going to do anything. And you know what? I'm not so certain that you're wrong. It might not. But as I've said time and time and time and time again, if we are going to do next steps, especially big next steps, we have to exhaust every available option, every available means at our disposal before we take those steps. And it won't just matter to us about that. It'll matter to the people whom we're asking to follow in those steps. So this protest does make a difference. if the numbers are there. If the numbers aren't there, then it doesn't make a difference. They can say, no one cares, no one shut up. But if the numbers are there, it will make a difference. And until you try, until you actually try, you can't tell me differently. So if you're on the east side of the state, plan a field trip. If you have a disposable $10, please consider donating it to the cause. It's not going to be spent unwisely, I promise you. We're working on trying to get some good speakers for you guys to listen to, in addition to yourselves, the workers. And, you know, I hope to have some news on that soon. But, you know, we'll cross that when we get there. Looking at my notes, just making sure I'm covering everything I wanted to talk about, which I never end up doing. Every time I hit the end button, I'm like, I should have talked about that. So we talked about Paris, we talked about Australia, places. I mean, Las Vegas, for God's sakes. Did I say this already? Las Vegas. Have you seen the video from that? If they get it, why can't we get our crap together? Come on. Exemptions. I think I've said everything I have to say on exemptions. If it's not clear to you yet that exemptions are not going to save you, exemptions are a stalling tactic, guys. That's all they are. What video? Carrie, just Google Las Vegas protest. I'm sure it'll pop up, or somebody on the group has it. Show it. You know, thousands of people in the shutting down the strip protesting this nonsense. But if it's not clear to you yet that exemptions are nothing more than a stalling tactic, they are delaying action. Okay, they are not going to save your job, because they're going to this nonsense is going to continue, and they're going to continue to press, they're going to continue to squeeze, they're going to continue to marginalize unless we push back. So even if you're out there trying to get exemptions, you still need to stand with us. Even if you have the vaccine already, you need to stand with us, because you can't afford to lose your coworkers. You can't lose. How is this a politically divisive issue? How is the idea of the government having the right to tell you must receive an injection, how is that politically divisive in any way? Come on, man. See, I'm getting Dementia Joe going on. It's been a heck of a day between between teaching my girls, and don't get me wrong, that actually is the highlight of my day. But between it's exhausting though, and then conversation with the FBI for an hour and a half, and then all this nonsense. But I'm at my wit's end, and I'm done negotiating with people. I'm done trying to get people to understand. You either get this or you don't. And I'm done. I'm simply done trying to help people get it. So, share the piss out of the rally. Also, go and subscribe to my website. It doesn't cost anything. Just subscribe means you get added to my email marketing list so that I can send you out updates. Now, I'll warn you, I'm not the most proficient webmaster in terms of you can't find where to go. Okay, for people who need to know where to donate, there should be a link in the description of the Facebook event page down at the bottom. There should be a link there, but also on the Hazardous Liberty website, hazardouswithliberty.com/events. At the bottom, in there should be a donate tab that'll take you to the PayPal link. I've also shared the PayPal link a couple times on on the page here. So scroll that, and I'll share it a couple more times. Encourage other people to donate if you can. But the biggest thing is attendance, right? We need. I can't stress that enough. There is no reason we shouldn't have 10,000 plus people there with the number of people that this is affecting. And state workers, okay, troopers, firefighter, EMS, please stop the excuse of my agency doesn't let me go to protests. They're going to fire you. I took my mask off halfway through my shift because I was like, what are you going to do? Fire me? You're going to do that anyway. Yeah, I wear a mask in a federal building because, I play by the rules. I take it off in my office anyway. So I was being really, really bad by not wearing it to the bathroom. Whoa. So anyway, I'm starting to ramble. I can feel I'm starting to ramble. So I'm gonna cut it short. I don't even know how long I've been doing the broadcast this time, because I don't have my little tracker. Get people to come. Get people to say that they're coming. Get people to share it. Get people to loudly and proudly say that they are defying this, and they will not comply. The t-shirts are coming. I promise you they're coming. Thank you for those who have already ordered. You should be getting them soon. I want to be able to say like tomorrow. It's not going to be tomorrow, but soon. But order some more of those. The signature line that's on there, that's printed on there, probably a little out of date now. Although I don't know if they've actually updated the mask order that much. The exemption's still there. So we'll get the t-shirts to you guys, and we're also looking at maybe getting some fun little buttons for you. Woo! Y'all like little campaign buttons and badges. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight, but not without first saying pray. As always, pray. Because there's only one person that's going to get us out of this, and that's when he decides to get us all out of this. So keep saying your prayers. Keep asking for prayers. I appreciate if you ask prayers for me. If you say prayers for me, pray for our country, pray for our state, and pray for each other. All right. I've got a decent number of people praying for me already. So I'll pray for all of you as well. We are all in this together. You can see on the I updated the graphic here. We either unite or we all fall. And that is just the truth. Also, just real quickly, if you're sending me friend requests, please don't be offended if I don't accept you right away. Not to be too paranoid, but usually about the time I get more active is the time I start to get more trolls too. So just please don't be offended if I don't accept your friend request. And if you're sending me direct messages via the page, I am trying to respond to them as much as I can and as best as I can. I unfortunately can't respond to every single thing that everyone sends me. I also am not going to simply relay everything, like every rally information. If I can, if it's convenient for me at the moment to do, I will, if I can do it. But please don't get offended if I'm not adequately responding. I do my best. Promise you, I do my best. So on that note, you all have a wonderful night. Say your prayers and keep the faith and keep up the fight. God bless you all. And we will talk to you soon. That's the best way to put it. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Good night, guys. God bless.